We have always wanted to control other people's minds. So what if we told you that you could have that power too, simply by watching this video? You'll want to stay tuned until the end to make sure that you are better at this than any of your friends. You don't want to miss the trick that will make people happy to serve you. If you love psychology as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we're showing you 10 psychology tricks that work on anybody. Make people believe in your lies. We always need to lie a little bit sometimes. And it doesn't have to be about telling your partner that we are not cheating on them when we are actually seeing someone else. Sometimes we just don't want to go to an event, and we need a good reason to say no to a night with our friends. And if you want to make sure that your lie doesn't sound ridiculous and that you don't start laughing for no reason, you will have to be a good liar. One good thing you can do is tell them something embarrassing. For example, if you don't want to go to your friend's sleepover, act a little shy and say that you have night terrors and that you don't want to wake up everybody. They probably won't insist, and they will feel uncomfortable asking any other question. But make sure that your story makes sense, because if you don't know what night terrors are and always say that you sleep well, they will understand that you are a liar. The best thing to do is to stay as close to the truth as possible, so you'll even be able to prove some things. For example, you might have had night terrors when you were a kid, but you don't have to say that you don't have them anymore. But there is still a way they could find out that you're lying.
Hey guys, we are so excited to announce we are producing our own original content. Head over to The Trendy for the best DIYs, fashion tips, makeup hacks, and so much more. We are sure you're going to love it. And be sure to let us know what you think in the comment section. We love to hear from you. See you there.
Make someone tell the truth. We should avoid lying as much as possible. Telling your friend that you just don't sleep well when you're not at home is a better way to avoid a sleepover. But what if you are the one who is planning a sleepover with your friends, and one of them tells you that they can't be there because it's their dog's birthday? There are still some things you can do to make them say the truth. You can stare at them without saying a word to make them feel uncomfortable. They won't like the silence and will probably try to say more and more things until they get to the truth. But if it doesn't work, you will have to act like a real psychologist, and not a bad cop. Adopt a sincere and understanding tone. Try to understand the reason why they did something instead of accusing them. For example, you can say that everyone feels uncomfortable sometimes, and you would understand why they would say that they're busy just to avoid an awkward moment. Minimize the seriousness of the situation so they will feel like they won't have to face too many consequences if they tell the truth. Being a good friend is the best way to know everyone's secret. But make sure that you stay a good friend after that, or they won't want to tell the truth anymore. Make someone trust you. This is one of the most popular tricks to make people like you. You might be doing this without even realizing it. But once you understand how it works, you can have the control of any situation. Mirroring is really simple. You are the mirror, and you have to copy the person in front of you. Don't always do the exact same thing at the exact same time. Keep it natural and slowly take the position that they have, or do something that they did before in the conversation. You can try to copy their body language, their gestures, their facial expression, their vocal pitch and tone, their body orientation, and more. Researchers from New York University even proved that this chameleon effect makes people like you. The reason why it works is that it makes us look connected and engaged. We also tend to trust people more who look like us. You are often doing it without even thinking about it, but it can also help to know what you're doing. It is the perfect thing to do on a date, during an interview, or if you want your parents to trust you. Looking at your crush to see if he acts like you is also a good way to know if they're interested in you. We know that you want to try this right now, but watch this video until the end if you want to learn more tricks. Make people reveal who they like. If you want to know who likes you, the answer is in their smile. And you'll clearly see it when they laugh. Those who laugh together stay together. And this is why you want to pay attention to people who have the same sense of humor. We know that you mostly want to know who has a crush on you, so we'll start with that one. Try to tell them something funny. If they easily smile or even laugh, it may be a sign that they're interested in you. Keep talking to them, and if they think that you are so funny, it is a good opportunity to ask them on a date. But if they barely smile, they will probably just say that they're already dating someone, or they're busy. Even when you are in a serious relationship, a lot of studies have shown that laughing is what makes people stay together. By looking at couples, they understood that shared laughter was an indicator of greater relationship quality. That might not surprise you, so we also want to help you understand who likes you. If you're in a group, tell something funny and look at everyone when they're laughing. They will look at the person that they like the most in the group. If two people are looking at each other, it might be a sign that they are in love. We'll definitely try it. Make people feel closer to you. We found a magic trick to make people feel closer to you, even if you just see them for an hour. This is a great way to meet new friends or even feel more connected to your crush. And the best thing is that anyone can do this. Small talk is not really interesting for anyone, as it is only a way to waste your time. Instead, try to tell your secrets to people. We're not saying that the first thing you should tell someone is that you stole your sister's favorite doll when you were a kid. But you can slowly start talking about things that are more personal during a conversation. In a study at the Stony Brook University, a researcher found out that people felt closer to each other after spending only 45 minutes together when they asked each other questions which got deep and personal. And the more you reveal things about you, the more you will know about that person, and you will feel like you share something special. This gives us a great idea for a date. Write a lot of questions that you would like your crush to answer on different pieces of paper, or you can also just use all the questions from a truth or dare game. You will quickly feel more connected, and you will be able to ask your crush the most important question: who do they like? Make people like you. You might think that you have to be perfect to make people like you, but it is actually the opposite. Having some flaws is what will make people like you even more. We don't say that you should be a terrible person that everyone hates, but making little mistakes sometimes is actually a good thing. That's because people will like you even more after you make a mistake, only if they already think that you're a competent person. That's called the pratfall effect, and the reason why is really simple. It simply makes you more relatable and vulnerable toward the people around you. After all, aren't you intimidated by your crush when you think that they are too perfect? We all felt like we were not good enough at some point in our lives, but then you learn that they are bad in science class, and you know that you can do something to help them. This is also what makes clumsy people really cute, and that's something you can work on if you want people to like you. We are not saying that you should fall from your chair just to get people's attention or look desperate. But don't be shy to talk about some of your flaws sometimes, and you'll be happy to hear that the others are not perfect either. Life would be boring if we didn't make any mistakes. Make someone fall in love with you. All these things are great, but how can you make sure that someone who likes you will love you a little more on the first date? There is one trick that works almost every time, mostly if you're dating a girl. If you want to make them feel something, give them adrenaline. This is why watching a horror movie on a date is a great idea. Social psychology experiments prove that people misattribute feelings of fear and anxiety to feelings of love. Their palms are sweaty and their heart is racing, which makes them more aroused. But when they try to think about what makes them feel this way, they look close to them and they see their date. This is why they think that this person makes them feel this way, and it is probably love. It sounds crazy, but scientists actually proved it during an experiment. But they were surprised to see that men didn't really react to that, even though they were a little bit more aroused. But it was crazy to see how women were feeling when they were watching a horror movie. And it doesn't only work with movies. You can also try to go on a roller coaster instead of the Ferris wheel. Living an adventure together is also a great way to have more adrenaline. So you know what to do next time you want to go on a date. Make people lose at rock, paper, scissors. You might think that it's impossible to cheat at rock, paper, scissors. There is no way to guess what the other person is going to do, right? But you would be wrong. That's because psychology is the best thing that will help you win. Scientists from China studied this game, and they came up with the best way to win. You will lose the first round, but you can guess what is going to happen after. If the player wins, they will usually stick with the same play. But if they lose, they will usually try another action, usually the next one on the list. So if they lost with rock, they will try paper, and so on. If you're playing 3 rounds of rock, paper, scissors, you're going to have a lot of chances to win. However, you will have to think fast. Other players have many other tricks. Some use pattern recognition of the other player's moves to understand what they're going to do next. Others say what they are going to do, like throw paper, and the opponent thinks that they are not stupid enough to do that, but the player throws paper anyway. You can also look at the other player's hand. If the thumb is already tucked in the crook of the index finger, they will probably use the rock. Keep playing with your friends, and you'll learn more things with a little bit of practice. Make people give you what you want. We've all been there, mostly when we were kids. We wanted to ask our parents to give us something, but our father told us to ask our mother, and our mother said no. And even as adults, we asked them to help us pay for our new car or our new house. But with these tricks, you will have more chances to get what you want from your parents, or anyone who could help you. One of the best things you can do is ask for something really expensive. You know that they will say no, but that's not important. You can then ask for something that you really want, and it will look more considerable compared to the first thing you asked. For example, you can ask for a horse, and if your parents say no, ask for a dog. But just make sure that you also like horses, just in case they say yes when you ask. Moreover, every time that you get something, show your parents that you really appreciate it. This will make them want to give you more things the next time you ask. Another way to deal with them is to offer something in exchange for what you want them to give you. Or you can also try to use a little bit of your money to pay for something and ask them if they can help with the rest. Your parents are not that bad after all. Make people your servants. Did you know that you can make people do things for you and make them like you at the same time? It seems too good to be true, but we can tell you that it is actually a dream come true. And it is called the Ben Franklin effect. You simply need to ask people to do a little something for you. Don't ask a stranger to loan you $10,000, but you can ask your friend if they could help you do your homework or babysit your dog, for example. You might think that the person helping you will think that you're annoying, but you will be surprised to see that they will like you even more. What happened to Benjamin Franklin is that he had a hater. But instead of acting like him, he decided to ask him if he could borrow a book. The man was pleased, and Franklin returned it 1 week later with a thank you note. Since that day, they had been friends. And it was proven by researchers that helping someone and hating them doesn't go together, so our brain makes us think that we like them instead. Others also think that the person simply understands that you want to be their friend, so they act nicely. Anyway, this trick works. Are you going to try any of these tricks? If you do, don't be shy to tell us what happened in the comment section down below. We love to know what you think. And that's it for 10 psychology tricks that work on anybody. For more stories like this, make sure you watch 5 Foolproof Ways to Spot a Liar. Thanks for watching.